Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card, we are doing a yes and no video. I haven't done one of these in, I think it's probably been about 2 years, maybe longer. I don't even know time these days, but I really wanted to do another one. So before I get in, I just want to say that, as I always say in my description box, you guys are, you know, the leaders of your life. You guys are steering the wheel of your journeys and of your life. So if you truly intuitively believe that, you know, if I was to say no or yes to a question and you truly believed it was a different answer, you don't have to take mine on. And also with, like I always say with tarot, they're tools to take a look at what's going on in the present moment, and what's going on in this present moment can always change because time is always in a state of flux. We are constantly moving through timelines, moving through vibrations, and this particular pick a card, it's not to be seen as like the ultimate like Bible to, you know, if something's going to come in for you. It's more so for us to look at the timeline of, you know, a question that you're asking and really see you know, what obstacles are there, and even if it is a no, how we can make it a yes, or if it's a yes and you want it to be a no, how we can do that. That's what we're basically doing with this. So I want you to think of a question that you have in your mind that you'd like a yes or no answer to. See which object you're drawn to when you think of that question, or you think of the timeline where you have whatever it is that you want, or whatever it is that comes to fruition, or whatever you wouldn't like come into fruition, whichever way you're doing the reading. Pile number 1, we have the lip gloss. Pile number 2, we have the sage stick. Pile number 3, we have the lavender essential oil. And pile number 4, we have the perfume mist. So see which object you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamps. Hey Pawan, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at the question that you have in mind, and we're going to see if the energy and answer is a yes or if it is a no. So you guys chose the gloss. I'm going to get straight in now. So let's get in. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. Show me a yes or no to my pile number 1's question. Tap me into my pile number 1's question. Show me a yes or a no connected to my pile number 1's, please. Show me a yes or a no connected to my pile number 1's question, please. Show me the energy surrounding pile number 1's question. Okay, we have the Lovers reversed. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1, we have the Ace of Swords. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Yes or no for my pile number 1's. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the Devil. Okay, let's take a look at the back of the deck. We have the 7 of Cups. Okay, this one's quite interesting because the way the answer of your question's coming in, when I first was tapping in, it felt like a no right this second. Like it feels like straight away it's a no, but it's because it's like it's not baked yet. There's something that needs to be I guess grown into, or there's I keep being shown like ideas, or it's like a way that I would like this to come in, or a way that I would like this question to be a yes. It's almost like there's something that I'm not seeing yet that I'm going to gain clarity on, or there's something that I'm not how do I put this into words, because I keep being shown a cake in an oven baking. So it's like if there's a cake in the oven and it's literally just goo at that moment because you've just put it in, and somebody says, am I going to be, you know, eating cake right now? The answer is going to be no, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be no forever. You're going to be eating cake in maybe an hour once it has cooked and cooled down. So there's something there that I'm being shown where there's, I keep being shown lots of wheels around your energy. Like there's something that needs to, it's like a frequency that needs to be aligned with. I feel like there's something that needs to be aligned. With the Lovers reversed, if you guys are asking if somebody's going to be coming back or if somebody's going to reach out to you, the answer is no, not right now. there's an energy that needs to be passed through before that happens, because I keep being shown there's almost like two, what it is and what you want are in two different frequencies, because something needs to grow first. So if this is a person that you would want back, or if this is somebody that you'd want to, you know, reach out or apologize or whatever it is, they're going to have to move through a certain passage first, in terms of they're going to have to maybe self-reflect, or they're going to have to do a level of growth, or they're going to have to really come to terms with maybe feelings that they have, or how they feel about a situation. There's something there that needs to shift and take place. There's something that needs to grow. In the frequency that you're in right now, the answer is a no. However, that can be shifted and that can be changed. And I do feel for a lot of you guys, I keep being shown a ship. It's like the energy is moving that way, even if it is going a little slow. But for those of you that may be asking about like a career path, or just trying to bring something in, trying to bring something into fruition, I do see it happening, but I don't see it happening as quick as you'd want it. And I feel like that's an answer to all of your questions. I feel like, yes, it's going to come in, but it's not going to come in when you'd like it to. It's almost going to come in when you've kind of like surrendered and let go, because I keep being shown the answer to this coming, but it comes in very effortless. Like I see the yes coming, but it's later on, and it comes in very like, it's in a flow state. There's not really any resistance, and I almost feel like it's kind of come out of nowhere. So if you guys are like, let's say building a business, or you are building like a social media, it may be like a little bit of a slow burn, but you're being called to just focus on what you're doing and just keep moving. And then out of nowhere, it's going to blow up, or out of nowhere, you're going to be, you know, making money from it. Kind of when you're least expecting it type of thing. But there's a reference here with this Ten of Pentacles. I don't know why I keep thinking of Saturn, and I keep thinking of like hard work and like perseverance. So there's something that I am still growing into. There's something that I'm still evolving into. There's a frequency that's still aligning. There's energies that need to be shifted before this can come in, but that doesn't mean that it is a no. It's just a no right now, because like everything, we grow into who we are. Like Beyonce grew into one of the best performers. She didn't come out of the womb dancing and you know, jumping around like that. She, throughout her childhood and throughout her life, she kind of built up who she was to become a really good performer. You know what I mean? When we look at like poets and artists, like they kind of have to really perfect their craft and work at it. So there's something there where it's like something needs to be worked on. But with the Ten of Pentacles, there's something about hard work and perseverance, and it's like I'm growing into something, or I'm kind of just, how do I put this into words? I feel like I'm flowing without worrying too much about if this comes into fruition. I feel like I'm more focused on self. I feel like I'm more focused on what I'm doing in this moment, and I feel like in doing that, I'm in that kind of carefree energy, and then I'm getting an aha moment, which could either be like an activation of like a frequency, something's being cleared, so something's come back to you tenfold, or you have like randomly out of nowhere like a business idea, or I should try this, or I should try that, and then something comes in. That's what I'm being shown. But I also feel with the Devil card being on the right side and the Lovers card reversed being on the other side, there's almost I keep being shown like a mindset shift is what I'm being shown with the Devil card and the Lovers reverse, because I do feel with the Seven of Cups being at the back of the deck, I feel like whatever it is you may want an answer to right now, because I feel like a lot of you guys would maybe want the yes answer. I feel like whatever it is you'd want the answer to right now, I almost feel like I have to let go of my old set of eyes to look at it with a new set of eyes. I may want the yes right now, but what I'm not seeing is that I'm still growing, and by the time I've fully grown, I might not want it in the same way. Like, for example, let's just simplify it. Say you have 5 balloons in front of you, red, green, blue, yellow, and you really want the balloon now, but you're still like growing, and you don't know your favorite color yet, but the red one just looks shiny and you want it. But then you wait a little while, and then you grow into yourself, and you're like, actually, my favorite color is yellow. I'm so glad I'm getting this balloon now that I know I like yellow. Otherwise I would have been stuck with that red one, and I wouldn't have wanted that. I needed to grow and realize my favorite color was yellow. I hope that simplifies what I'm trying to say, because it's like there's something that you may want like with immediate effect right now that I feel like in the long run it's like, actually I would have liked something different. I feel like there's something that still needs to cook. There's something that still needs to bake. There's something that still needs to grow within you, or there's a frequency maybe that needs to be cleared while another version of it comes in. There may be certain wounds connected to whatever it is that you want in the answer yes to that are being kind of transmuted right now and cleared, so that when that energy comes back, you're looking at it with a new set of eyes, so you can really appreciate when the answer is a yes, because I feel like it's somewhat of a journey. But I feel like for right now the answer is no, but down the line the answer is yes. There's just something that maybe you're not seeing. There's a kind of like a turntable that I feel is going to happen with the question that you're asking, where you're going to look at it differently. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Yes, tap me into pile number 1's yes and no question. We have rejection reversed. That's going right underneath the Lovers reversed. Some of you guys may be asking about somebody coming back or somebody apologizing. We have isolation reversed as well, which is quite interesting. We have surrender. Pile number. And we have magic. And the back of the deck you have love. Okay. Rejection reverse and isolation reversed. There's something you're not seeing about the question that you're asking. If those of you that are asking about somebody coming back or a specific connection, and this is only for those of you that have asked that. If you haven't asked that, just disregard this part. I feel like those of you that are asking about somebody coming back or apologizing or whatever it is, I feel like the situation or the connection may have triggered or hit a specific wound. And I feel like that may be something that you've been alchemizing or working through. And I feel like the minute you kind of like let go of that and you're not looking at this person from the wound of maybe rejection or hurt, I feel like that's when this person may come back through, because it's almost like I feel like I'm resisting it. The only way I can describe it, I remember with my father, just to give you an explanation, I didn't see him for years and years and years, and obviously I had a very big abandonment wound with him, and I was working on it for years and years and years, and I went through periods where I just felt like I hated him, I was angry, I was crying, and I guess all I wanted was him to come back, obviously, but he just wasn't. And I remember clearing that wound with my dad and finally feeling very full and sending, you know, love energetically and just being like, you know what, I get it now. I can kind of get why things went the way that they did, and I kind of released it. And within 2 months, out of nowhere, my dad visited me, and he really told me things that had I been told them years earlier when that wound was still open, I probably would have got triggered and I would have been still angry with him. I wouldn't have been able to see what he was telling me. And it wasn't until I felt like I had really put a lid on that and moved past it that I was able to really appreciate the things that he was saying and understand it. Even though I knew a lot of it wasn't right, I was able to get it because I had a different mindset of the way I looked at him. And that's what I'm being shown with that sort of situation here, with the card, the rejection reverse underneath the Lovers reverse, isolation reverse, surrender, and magic. If you guys are trying to bring in like a business, you're trying to bring in like a certain lifestyle, or you're trying to bring in like you're trying to build up and create something in regards to maybe like your soul purpose or your work, I keep being shown I keep feeling like I want to get inspired, and I keep just wanting to put my energy into this in a really abundant way where I'm not focusing too much on restrictions or like what could be or how much is coming in. I'm doing something because I love it, because I feel like I'm connecting to my heart space, and the more I'm putting that energy in, and I'm just doing it because I love it. I'm not focused too much on time. I'm not focused on too much on like how many you know, how many followers I have, or how good is this doing. It's like I'm just focusing and enjoying like the moment and doing it, and I feel like there's going to be an expansion there. It's almost like I'm detaching. I guess there's a level of detachment with this one, to detach from the outcome, because I feel like it might be trying to come around in a way that you wouldn't expect, or this person's going to reach out to you in a way that you wouldn't expect, or at a time that you wouldn't expect. There's almost like a version of something that you're looking at that I kind of feel like there's a level of I need to release and just kind of let go, because it's going to come in a different way. That's what I'm really being shown. So for you guys, the answer is no right now, but it's going to be a yes later on. But there's something you're growing into, or there's something that needs to be passed through. I keep being shown a tunnel where you're almost kind of like letting go of the outcome, and in that kind of like retrospect, it kind of comes back in a different way. So I see the answer being a yes, but it might be like a different color, if that makes sense. Or it might be at a time that you wouldn't expect. That's what I'm being shown. But the core answer technically is yes. It's just right now the frequency doesn't feel right. There's something that needs to be evolved. Like there's energy that's still evolving. If I put my finger in that cake right now, it's still going to be goo. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to eat the cake, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is what I have for you, pile one. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at the question that you have in mind, and we're going to see if the energy is a yes or a no, and we're going to dive a little bit deep into the frequencies around the question and just see if there's any advice or guidance in terms of bringing the answer that you'd like. So you guys chose the Sage. I'm going to start with Tarot and then we'll move on to your Oracle cards. So pile number 2, please Spirit Guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s and their question. Is the answer a yes or a no? Is the answer a yes or a no? What have we got? We have the Moon. Is the answer to my pile number 2's question a yes or a no? 5 of Wands. The Sun. Eight of Swords. Okay. And the back of the deck is the 5 of Swords. Okay, the Moon, the 5 of Wands, the Sun, and the 8 of Swords tap me into my pile number 2's question. It's interesting because when I first started to shuffle, I don't know if you've ever seen the game. It's called Kaplunk. I don't know if anyone else has ever heard of that game, but basically you have to like, it's kind of like this thing with all of these sticks in, and you have to chuck like marbles through, and the marbles stop their sticks from getting like all the way down. And I think it's the person with the least amount of marbles at the end in their little cup, because you have like 4 cups each. That's the person that wins. I kept being shown that, and I know it sounds really silly, but it felt like I felt like there was a yes, but then I felt like there was something that needed to be pulled out first. That's why I was being shown those wands or swords, like the Kaplunk thing. It's like I have to pull them out. So I felt like there was things that need to be changed first, or there's things that need to be really looked at and reviewed, or maybe kind of like cut away, because I kept being shown visions of, you know, when you see archaeologists and there's like an old artifact but it's buried under like cement and rock, and they have to really carefully like put water on it and really like kind of with a metal thing like kind of scrape anything that isn't that artifact away to kind of get what's underneath. I kept being shown that. So there's almost like a level of work that needs to be put into this. Like there's a level of hard work. But then as I was getting to the other like end of the reading, as I was putting down the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Swords, I almost felt this feeling of frustration. And then I felt this feeling of like I kind of give up. Like I'm kind of like letting go of this. I don't know if I want it. So that's where I was kind of taken with this reading. I feel like with whatever question that you've asked, I feel like there'd be a lot that would come with the answer being a yes. That's what I'm being shown. I feel like there would be a lot that would need to happen, and I feel like for example, if you guys are trying to bring in like, let's just say psychic gifts or spiritual gifts, you'd probably go through like an initiation process, so you'd go through like an ego death, or there's like a collapsing of your old mindset to bring something new in, where there would be a lot of shadow work. And for those of you that would really want the answer to that to be yes, I see you working through it, but there would be a lot of purging and clearing to get that. However, those of you that it's like it's a desire but it's not really, I'm not connected on the heart space, those of you I feel would get to a point where it's like it's not worth it, I'm gonna kind of let go now, I don't want to do this anymore. So if you guys are thinking of like building up a business, or you guys are thinking of like bringing in a bringing in some sort of like lifestyle for yourself, there's a reference to really, really connect with your heart space and really, really look at what it is that you actually want to bring in and what it is that lights you up. And is this connected to maybe your ego, or is this connected to what your heart truly wants? Because those of you that are connected from the heart space, I see you this answer being a yes, but there's gonna be effort that needs to be put in. There's gonna be a lot of focus that needs to be put in. I keep being shown like a tunnel vision, so there's almost a level of sacrifice that may need to come in. So for example, if you guys are wanting to be working out in the gym, like it's like yes, but you're going to have to like really, really like work and focus on that and be up early and do all of these things to make sure that comes into fruition. Or if you guys are trying to build up a business, it's like a yes, but you guys are gonna have to like save up. You guys are gonna have to really put a lot of your energy into it. That feels like there's a lot of graft that needs to be had to bring this in, whereas you literally chose the sage stick, so it's like kind of clearing out the old. There's a lot in the physical that I feel like I'm having to shift and shake up, or again, it could be like I'm doing shadow work or I'm clearing before this comes in. And for those of you that are asking the question, but you know that it's more from an ego perspective, or you know that it's more so a desire, but it's not really something that you're seeing in your heart space, I do feel for some of you guys, you may just feel like it's just too much and you don't want to continue. And that's only for those of you that know that you're just asking something lighthearted, or it's just something your whole heart isn't with. Because for those of you that your heart is fully in this and you know this is something that you want and you're aligned with, yes, the answer is yes, but it's like you're going to need stamina because we're walking up a hill. This isn't something that's going to just flow in out of like nowhere. I feel like there's effort that needs to be put in, because there's like a whole day to night situation with the moon and the sun, that there's a whole flip, there's a whole switch, you know, the environment changes when the sun goes and the moon comes out. The way that we see life changes, you know what I mean? Even at night, there's such a different tone at nighttime than there is at daytime. And even there's creatures that only come out in the day, and there's creatures that only come out in the night. So it's a shift. And I feel like for some of you guys, if your heart's really connected, you may be trying to bring in something that's like another paradigm or manifest something in. And anytime we do that, we have the ground we're currently on crumble before we can bring something else in. And especially if those of you are, I don't know why there's something about psychic gifts or spiritual gifts, especially those of you that are trying to align with your psychic gifts, I've found whenever there's been manifestations in that area, there usually is an ego death. There usually is some sort of big transformation and shift that comes. And I always find even just manifesting something in, if there are wounds tied to it, or if there's something that's blocking it, that has to be purged for it to come in. And there feels with this pal specifically, there is an initiation process. That's why I think you chose the sage, because it's like a clearing. There's something that we need to make room for. And I used to use this analogy all the time when I first started my channel, but it was like, if you have a house and you're bringing new furniture in, you have to get rid of the old furniture, otherwise you're going to be stacking the new on top of the old, and it probably wouldn't even make it through the door. You know what I mean? You have to clear it out first. So that's what I'm being shown. So perseverance is key, and I feel like there are going to be certain challenges that come, but those challenges are actually silver linings, because I think that they're also answers to your manifestations. So it's like a challenge, you may have something on your road that may look like a roadblock, like a challenge, like a big boulder, but the more that you look at it and you analyze it and you understand it, you realize actually this is a key to get me where I need to go, and actually this is actually an answered prayer, now that I'm using it as a mirror to help me grow. So there's something there. Like for example, like when people are bringing in like a certain amount of money, or they're building up a business, the first roadblocks they're going to hit are the financial sector and how they're doing with their money, and are they saving their money, or are they putting their money where their mouth is, and are they you know, when we build something up, it's like we have to put money in for equipment, and these little things come up that we had a blind spot to before. We did not know that that was there before, but technically that's not actually a hurdle on the road. That is this is going to come up later on down the line as well. So you want to nip it in the bud now so it doesn't get worse later down the line. We're going to cut the weeds now so that they don't overgrow the garden later on down the line. Those weeds are not blocks, but for those of you that may not be looking at it from a heart space perspective, those of you that know that this is more like a light-hearted question you're asking, you may look at those blocks like, oof, I don't want it that bad. Like, it's just not for me. I keep feeling stuck. I'm just going to fall back. And it's up to how aligned you feel with this, and how much you want to persevere. Because for those of you that are connecting from a soul, there's something about a soul perspective, or like my heart space. Those of you that are looking at it like that, this is going to be a really beautiful journey in a way. And when you do hit those roadblocks, yes, you're going to feel frustration and whatever, but you're going to be able to overcome them. You're going to be able to really see through them, and you're going to be able to evolve, and get to the finish line. But those of you that aren't looking at it that way, and this is just a light-hearted question, I feel like you're just going to be like, I don't know. I don't really know if I want this. I don't know if it's worth the hype type of thing. I don't know if this is something that I want. And you'll know watching this which one you are. Pile number two. It's kind of like, because Spirit's showing me, like, if you were manifesting a house and then Spirit like randomly put a door on your door, like on your doorstep, or randomly like bring you bricks and cement, so go and building something, like there's something you're building. So Spirit's kind of giving you the ingredients to build that. Pile number two, please, Spirit guides. Pile number two is a yes or no. We have peace. We have intuition. There's definitely something that some of you guys may have to come to terms with, or have to face, in terms of a wound, or something that you were quite scared to take that leap with. Because we have fear, which is directly under the Eight of Swords, and then energies like behind it. So there's like a shift in energy, a shift in frequency. But with the Eight of Swords and the fear card, like for example, if it is the spiritual gifts, there's maybe wounds connected to like connecting with Spirit, or there's fears, or there's shadows that need to crop out, or whatever it is you're trying to manifest. There's a shadow connected to it that you're gonna need to look in the eye, and that's going to be dealt with at the same time. There's sort of like a double-edged sword. But that light and love that you have for the whatever it is you're wanting to come to fruition, you're going to be able to use that to see in the dark, the sun and the moon. You're going to be able to use that light to be able to see in the dark and be able to transmute out of it. But those of you that are just asking more light-hearted, or this is just a light desire, you might feel like, I don't know if I want to self-reflect, I don't know if I want to do the shadow work, and that's fine. But that's where I see it becoming a no, because it's like I'm not up to this. I don't think that I want this that bad, and I see you walking away, those of you. But there's something about jumping out of the comfort zone with the sun, and then we have comfort, but the flowers are growing. So there's something about coming up from the soil and jumping out of the comfort zone, doing something differently. There's some sort of shake-up or some sort of leap that some of you guys are going to have to take, where it's going to actually bring in like a level of bravery. Because I'm looking at the moon here in peace. It's almost like I'm staying in the nest because it's comfortable and I like the idea of this. However, we're gonna have to jump out, and we're gonna have to really like face, you know, these fears. Because a lot of the times, if we decide to make a shift, or jump towards something that we'd like, or jump towards an idea that we'd like, or change our habits, our brain tries to keep us in our old habits, because our brain just tries to keep us safe. And we really have to look at, like, you know, where as well are there wounds where I want to stay in that nest? What am I fearing? And I think once you tackle that, I feel like then you're going to kind of be on a roll, to be honest with you. So for those of you, I do see a yes. For those of you that really do truly want this from the heart space, but I don't think it's going to come easy. I think there's going to be a period of growth, some sort of transition. For some of you guys, it could be some sort of spiritual awakening, or a complete shift in mindset. It could be like dark night of the soul type of thing. But then for others of you, it could just be really allowing the ground that you're currently on to crumble before something else comes in, or taking a leap, you know what I mean, into another direction that is uncomfortable for you. And those of you that then don't want to face that, I feel like it's then going to become a no, because there is work that needs to come in, like to be done before this comes in, if that makes sense. So yeah, pile number 2, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at your question that you have in mind, and we're going to be seeing if the answer is a yes or a no, and we're going to go a little bit deeper in just to see the energies around it and if there's any guidance towards getting the outcome that you would like. So you guys chose the lavender essential oil. I'm going to start with tarot and then we'll get on to your oracle card. So let's get in. So pile number 3, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. Tap me into pile number 3's question. Show me the energies surrounding my pile number 3's question. Is it a yes or a no? We have the Queen of Wands, the Page of Wands. Pile number 3's question, is it a yes or a no? Page of Swords and the Hermit. Okay, and the back of the deck you have the Four of Swords. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna keep it like, I'm just gonna say the answer and then go into it. The answer is yes, and I also feel like the answer is, you would want the answer to be yes. That's kind of how this is coming through. Now, the reason I'm saying yes is because I don't know if, okay, you guys are definitely psychic. It's funny you chose the lavender essential oil. You guys are definitely psychic. I feel like you guys either have psychic foresight, so you're able to see timelines in front of you, or you guys just have psychic visions. And I feel like sometimes if there's a reality that you know is like a pathway that's available to you, it almost lights up. And what I mean by that is if you see somebody living a life or in a frequency that you know that is maybe your next step, you get very inspired by that. You almost align with that. That's what I'm being shown. So I feel like, I don't know why, I already feel like energetically I'm living the answer is yes. I'm just waiting for the physical to catch up, or maybe there's little things I need to do in the physical to bring that in. But what I want to say is 100% yes is the answer. What I do want to say is sometimes you seem very connected to like higher realms, because I almost feel a little impatient, like I want the answer right now, because obviously when you're in a higher realm you think of something, it appears in front of you, you align with something and it's there, whereas in the physical it's a little slower. Because you guys, I see you tapping into timelines where, oh, this is happening, this is the next step for me, but then you almost feel like, well, where is it then? And you kind of feel stuck. Or maybe in the physical you try then to run after it, but then there's almost like a little bit of a barrier, or you just don't really feel like there's much moving. But it's because sometimes you're a little quicker than the frequencies on earth. If I put it like to that, it's like you're a little bit ahead of time. A lot of the times, like, you'll feel an ending a year before it happens, and you'll feel a rebirth a year before it happens, and you just kind of wait. And like, I'm being on the fish in Nemo in the fish bag, and they're like, now what, when they're on the top of the ocean in the little fish bag. My third eye is feeling a lot of pressure as well, so I feel like you guys are very intuitive. So I feel like you guys, before clicking on this, already know it's a yes. And I feel like there's energies that are aligning right now, because with the last card here being the Hermit, and then you have the back of the deck being the Four of Swords, I almost feel like whatever this is, you've already dreamt it up, you've already been manifesting, you've already been aligning, you've already been shifting your frequency to make sure this happens. I'm being shown weeds being cut, so you've actually already been doing that. I actually also feel that there may have been wounds that you've already cleared, or habits that you've already been slowly kind of detangling from in order to bring this in, because this situation feels like a process. And I keep being shown right now, I don't know why I'm being shown what looks like an alien going into like a tube to be fitted with its outfit ready for its next mission. I don't know why I'm being shown that. I don't know if that's like a movie clip of something that you guys have seen that I don't know about. Like, I don't know where that's come from. It literally looks like a tube from like the Hunger Games, where they go in that little pod and they get shot up. That's what I'm being shown. So I feel like you guys are prepping right now, and I feel like you've been in the prepping stage for a minute, or you've been maybe biding your time for a second. Now I do feel that there's still a month, I would say like 1 to 3 months, and remember time is in a state of flux, where there's still a feeling of, I'm being shown the Hanged Man, so I feel I'm a little bit in limbo. But what I keep being shown is energy topping up. I keep being shown like the train tracks are being moved so the train can come into the right port, sort of thing. Like, that's what I'm being shown. So it's almost like I'm waiting for landing. I'm being shown as well, like, you know, the air controls like for airplanes, and they like, tell the airplanes like, okay, it's safe to land type of thing. I'm being shown that, like, it's almost like spirit, like you're up in the air and spirit's like, okay, it's like you're coming in and then you're descending. Like, I keep being shown that for some reason. But the answer is yes, because I actually feel throughout the next couple of months, and I would say for the rest of the year, and if you're watching this in the future, I would say maybe over the next 6 months, 6 to 8 months, I would say, I keep being shown like you know how a plane slowly descends to the ground? I keep being shown something slowly grounding in, so it's taking its time, and I keep being shown like a fire kind of brewing. So I don't know if some of you guys have been feeling a little bit dull, or you guys are just like, you know, you want this to come in, but maybe you've been dealing with like imposter syndrome of like, how could it come in? Or you've been dealing with just that kind of like stagnant feeling where it's like, I don't know if I'm fully inspired. That's because there's been a shift taking place energetically. You're very connected to spirit, and I feel like there's this fire, because I'm hearing Billie Eilish's song Burn, where she's like, with the fire that you started in me, I'm being shown like a big fire, like a bonfire, and then it's like, okay, like I have all this energy now let's go. It's like we were prepping for the race and now we're sprinting, and that's what I'm seeing, because with the Queen of Wands, when we've already manifested this, it's now coming into the physical. I see you getting a lease of life soon, or a certain kickstart or jumpstart where you're going to start doing something in the physical to make room for the landing. So I don't know if that's maybe saving up money before you can like purchase something. I don't know if that is maybe starting to go out and about, but like lightly, before you start becoming more social. That could be slowly starting to post on, you know, social media about a business before you really jump the gun and push forward with it. But I see you having like energy soon where you start to make like little moves before something comes in. But with the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords, what I actually see is you almost elevating beyond what you're already looking at. So whatever this is that you want to bring in, it feels more like a manifestation of something you're aligning with. I feel like there's also something you're still not seeing as well that's going to click for you. It's like a download at the last minute. It's like a piece of information at the last minute that's almost going to just slit in. And I see you guys going beyond what you think. So it's like maybe you guys were expecting to make, let's just say 10,000 by the end of the year. You can end up making 20,000 type of thing. It's like something comes in where it's like it helps you catapult it, like you bring it in. Or you guys were thinking you could maybe make half the money for a deposit and maybe you could buy a house next year, but then something happens where it's like by the end of the year you buy the house. It's something like that that comes in at the last minute. That's what I'm being shown. So the answer fully is yes. I don't see anything. I feel like you've been in it. You feel like you've been stagnant, but I feel like you've been in the behind stages getting everything ready without realizing it, whether it was energetically clearing or whether it was just prepping physically behind the scenes and doing all the slow boring work or the paperwork type of thing, because the landing is being prepped now, it feels. And I'm talking fast, so I feel like something's accelerating, like something's, you know, something's coming. Something's coming is the word I want to say. I'm hearing The Light Is Coming by Ariana Grande. Pile 3. I see you already almost living like this timeline is already here, or almost like, I don't know if you already have a vision board, or you have like Pinterest, or like an Instagram thing where you post, like you already have something. I don't know what that is. Or maybe you've been scripting, or maybe you may find that you want to start scripting or creating a vision board very soon, or you may have already been doing that. We have cleanse, we have protection, we have reflection, and then we have growth reverse underneath the Hermit, and then we have anxiety. Have you guys been dealing with imposter syndrome about what it is that you want to come in? Have you guys been having doubts or fears about whatever it is that you wanted to come in? Because I don't know why, I know they're just like little lines, but they literally feel like a can of worms. But it's like, I feel like you've opened a can of worms in terms of like where the insecurities are, so that they don't stunt the growth later on. And that's why we have the Hermit and the growth card reversed. I feel like you've been in a period where you've been cutting back the weeds, basically. I feel like that's a period that you've been in while simultaneously opening up to these new timelines, with the Four of Swords being at the back of the deck. I feel like you've been in a period of respite, or you may have been in a period of releasing, because we do have cleanse here with the Queen of Wands as well, because it's almost like something that you're wanting to bring in are ideas. They're forming right now, but they weren't ideas before because there wasn't room for those ideas. The set of eyes you had before didn't want that before. You hadn't grown into it before. This is something that you've had to grow into, and it's now here, if that makes sense. Similar to pile 1, but pile number 1 was, there's something you need to grow into, but you guys are like, you've grown into something. So it's like the kind of opposite end of pile 1. So you could be watching this pile like a year in the future, or like however long in the future, and it's like, oh, last time I was pile 1 and now I'm pile 3. That could be happening, because I know that can happen sometimes. There's something to do with the Page of Wands and then the protection card underneath in terms of like money, or like I needed to be in this mindset, because I'm being shown currency, but it's also like where my attention's going. With the Page of Wands, and it's almost like if I would have done this or pushed forward with this before, it could have crashed and burned. I needed to be doing something else first. That needed to be the first foundation, and then I could build this on top. If I was about to do this or bring this in, I wouldn't have been ready. I needed to be in this frequency. This flower needed to fully bloom. Like if I would have picked that fruit a month ago, it still would have been green and it wouldn't have been ready for me to eat, and then it may not have even fully ripened. Like, you know, I could have just picked it prematurely. There's something that needed to be grown into, which you've already been doing. With this growth card being reversed with a Hermit, I'm looking inside of me. Yeah, there's something that needed to grow, because with Page of Swords and reflection, I feel like there's things that maybe you would have wanted to manifest before, or directions you would have been wanting to take something before, that now you know that would have been a dead end, or you're just not interested in it, and now you're making that shift. That's what I'm being shown. Yeah, so pile number 3, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. I feel like you've known the answer's been yes. I feel like you've been aligning with this for some time. I feel like you are very intuitive, very psychic. I feel like you guys know when there's winter periods up ahead and summer periods up ahead, and this really does feel like you're going from spring to summer, which is funny because I know in the northern hemisphere, not the southern, but the northern hemisphere, we're in May, which is kind of like a transitional month between spring and summer, I guess. So yeah, pile 3, it's a yes. I wanted to make like a cool little quote, but my mind blanked, so I'm just gonna say it's a yes, and I feel excited for you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at the question that you have in mind, and we're going to be seeing if there is a yes or a no to your question. I am going to be going deeper into the energy surrounding your question, and just if there's any guidance or messages that need to come through, then I will bring them through. So yeah, let's get in. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s. I know it sounds really weird, but I literally just heard that Gangsta's Paradise song. I'm sure it was Coolio. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. I don't know if someone's just played it or it's just been on somebody's mind, but I just heard it in my mind. I don't know if it's anything to do with the reading, but I'm just going to put it out there because it just came through. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides, yes and no. Tap me into my pile number 4's question and show me the answers surrounding my pile number 4's question. Is it a yes or a no? We have the Knight of Swords. Is the answer to my pile number 4's question a yes or no? We have the Page of Cups. Pile number, we have the 8 of Cups and Temperance. Okay, back of the deck you have the Hanged Man. Okay, tap me into my pile number 4's, please, spirit guides. The Knight of Swords, the Page of Cups, the 8 of Cups and Temperance. I keep being shown, it's almost like I'm receiving a piece of information with the Hanged Man at the back of the deck, and then this energy feels very weak, where it could be a yes with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups, where I feel like I'm hearing something, or I'm hearing something through the grapevine, or I've just, like, I'm hearing something about whatever it is that you're asking, where it's almost like turning me away. It's making me feel like I don't really know if I want this now, because with the 8 of Cups, that's you almost like emotionally disconnecting and choosing to put your energy somewhere else, or putting your energy back into you with the Temperance card. It's almost like, because the thing is, you could get a yes out of the question, but I don't think it's going to be what you want. So for example, you could be asking about I don't know why this feels like I'm waiting for an answer to it kind of feels something to do with maybe like a connection, or maybe you're wanting a message from somebody, or you're maybe wanting somebody to apologize, or you're wanting something like that. It's slightly similar to Pile 2, but it's almost like you'll get it, but it's kind of a no at the same time, because you get it, but it's not what you would have wanted. It's not really what you deserve. It's like, this is not worth it. Like, I want something different, because I see you walking away like it's a yes, but it's not really a yes. I hope that makes sense. Technically I would say no, because I feel like you're not getting something that you would have wanted out of it. Like, I kind of feel like I'm asking about, is this person going to apologize, or are they sorry, or are they going to reach out, or am I going to get that answer, or is this going to happen? And it's just like, there's going to be a reach out, there's going to be something, but it's weak. It doesn't feel like there's much effort or energy put towards it. It doesn't feel like there's much. It almost feels very flippant with the Page of Cups. Like for example, if you wanted like an apology, or you wanted somebody to reach out, they could do it in a very like emotionally immature way, or just in a way where there wasn't much thought behind it, or they don't really give you the answers that you would have wanted. So maybe you could have thought, maybe I'll get closure if I get this, but then that person just doesn't really give the closure. And it's more so to do with them. It's almost like they haven't reached that depth yet, or they just haven't, they're just in that like kind of like flippant vibe. And I see you guys with the 8 of Cups just being like, do you know what, I don't even want it. Like, I'm just gonna walk away. Like, that's not what I would have wanted. Like, I'm kind of walking away. That's kind of how this is coming through, because it's almost like then it kind of sets you free in a way, because it's almost like an epiphany with the Knight of Swords, where it's like, oh, like I was waiting and this was it. There's something where I feel like I'm, you know, when you get those, how do I put this into words? I saw a tweet the other day, and it was like, sometimes our ego can have us knocking at a door with nothing behind it. That's the vibe of this. It's like I'm not seeing something clearly. It's like I know what I deserve, and I keep having like a hopeful thought that this could give me some sort of like clarity, or some sort of answer, or I could get back whatever it is I put into it. But actually I'm not really receiving what I really deserve. But in actuality, then it's like shutting that door and walking away and pouring into yourself. It has you put that energy somewhere else where there would be fruition. But for the actual question you've asked, I feel like it's a no, but then it's a kind of like a weak yes, but it's basically a no. It's something that I feel like there's going to be a level of maybe disappointment, because the Page of Cups is just very out of the blue. It's random. It's just like, oh, it's just come out of nowhere. But the 8 of Cups is like that emotional dissatisfaction. It's like, I'm disconnecting from this. This is not what and it could be that, like, if you're waiting for an answer, it could come like at a point where you've already detached and you don't care anymore, or a little too late type of thing. Like, this could be a situation where you've disconnected from someone and they don't reach out till years later, where you're just in a different energy. You've already learned the lesson, you've already detached, you've already grown, and they maybe give the message, but it's like, that's what I would have wanted to hear back then, but I've grown even more, and that's absolutely nothing towards what I would want right now. Like, that's I probably would have been quite happy with that back then, and maybe you're giving the effort that I would have wanted back then. However, I've evolved and grown so much that isn't even enough for me now. That was enough for me back then. You know, it's not now, and it took too long. So there's something there. It could be you're putting effort into like maybe like a business idea or a work, or you're trying to get something. I feel like this is more connected to somebody else, but if this is like a work situation or something like that, it's like I've put effort and energy, but I'm just not receiving what I should be getting back. So it's like a yes, but it's like, am I going to receive money? Yes, but it's like a couple of pounds or a couple of dollars. It's not what you actually deserve back out of it. And I think pulling your energy off it and pouring it into you and putting it into something else is where you're going to see there's something more in alignment. Because whatever it is that you may be wanting the answer to, if you wanted the yes, I don't think it's really in alignment with you, and I don't think that it could really fulfill you. And I think that is why there's almost like a lesson here of kind of like letting go and walking away. But I kind of feel like I'm stuck in limbo. Like I put energy into it, so I'm waiting for something back, or maybe I'm looking for closure, or I know sometimes it's not even closure. Sometimes it's like, I know I deserve an apology. So I would like an apology. And that's where it's like, I feel like you're going to get it, but it's like, it's like I ordered this back in 2012. I really do not want what was trending in 2012? What did we like in I really don't want that One Direction sign poster now. Like, it's been too long. They're not even together anymore. I ordered it in 2012. I don't want it anymore. So you had it. So it's technically a yes, but when you really wanted it, you didn't get it, type of thing. Or again, you get something, but it's just not worth what you put into it. And it's like, well, this is just not really something that I want. So technically I want to say the answer is no. But if we're looking at it, it's a yes, but it's a weak yes. It's just, by the time you get it, it's either falling short or it's too little too late. That's what I'm getting from this. And apologies if that is not what you wanted to hear, but that's the energy that I'm getting. There's something that feels very weak in this reading. And it's just, something's just too late. It's past the sell by date. It's expired by the time you get it, or it's just not what you would have wanted. You know, like you see those memes and it's like what I ordered versus what I got. Yeah, it's that type of thing. Like, it could be like, maybe there's somebody that you've kind of maybe gone back and forth with, and maybe you wanted a connection with them, and it's like, am I finally gonna get this connection? But you know that they've played about, and it's like, you could, and maybe you do end up with them, but then you'll actually realize, actually, this is not what I wanted. This is definitely not what I wanted, and I see you dipping. You're the one dipping though with the Eight of Cups. It's like, I'm letting go, I'm giving up, that's not what I want. You're the one making that decision. It's like, I'm emotionally detaching. I've waited too long, or this just isn't enough, or I've put too much effort into this. I'm going to put it somewhere else. We have Magic. Pile number 4, please, Spirit Guides. They're yes or no questions. Pile number 4 is yes or no questions. We have Disruption. We have Creativity. And we have Protection. And the back of the deck, you have Balance. Yeah, there's something that you've been putting your energy into that it's like, I don't know why I keep thinking if it's to do with another person. Because it's like, if I put my all into something, I should have my all back out of it. If I'm putting my energy into someone, I should have, you know, that back out of it. I deeply connect to things on an emotional level, and you're not giving that back to me, so it's not satisfying me at all. There's something that wouldn't have been pulling its weight, or it wouldn't have been giving you the results that you wanted. So it's like, I'm letting go, I'm detaching. Why do we have Magic and then Disruption? Knight of Swords and then Magic and then Page of Cups, Disruption. It's almost like your idea of it, of maybe said person coming back, or said person giving an apology, or whatever, or something coming to fruition. It's like your idea of it may be better than what it actually is. Like, yeah, we're gonna go to the beach and it's great, but then the beach just isn't that great when you get there. It's just like, yeah, I went to the beach, but it was not. I probably wouldn't go there again. Like, I would go somewhere else. Like, it feels like that. It's like I've almost desired something and almost given it more colour through my own set of eyes, because I'm looking at it in a beautiful way, but actually it wasn't that, if that makes sense. Because Creativity and Protection is almost a reference of like, there's something better for you. There's something better where your energy needs to go. This would pull at your energy. This would take your energy. I've been putting my money in towards this business, but it's just been eating my money up. I haven't really been getting anything back. I need to go somewhere where I'm more aligned. That's kind of how it feels. So for some of you guys, it's a weak yes. A weak yes that I don't think you're going to really want. And then for some of you guys, I feel like it's a no. And it all depends, like, again, on how you look at it. This was definitely a no. it took too long, so it's a no. I'm not going to want it in 5 years. I'm not going to want it in 2 years. I'm not going to want it in a lighthearted way. Like, that's not what I want. It's a no. Where some of you guys like, I got it, but I didn't want it. That's how it feels. And I'm sorry I couldn't have been more positive, Pal, than before, but I do feel like there's something that's more aligned with you. So yeah, Pal 4, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you got what you needed from the reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.